Hello everybody, welcome to Rockstars, the podcast. I can't believe what Chris Moyles just said. Now, unless you've been living under a rock these past 48 hours, you will have seen a video clip going round and around the social media cycle that we call Twitter of Chris Moyles on his radio show on Radio X, basically slagging off unsigned upcoming artists.
And all of a sudden it's like, why is the job landing on my shoulders to play new music and discover new bands? That's never been my gig, ever. In 30 years of being on the radio. And then all these people are piling on, oh, I hate Chris Moyles, oh, you banging on about, I wouldn't mind if he was funny. And then you guys got thrown under the bus. And him and his fake friends who are laughing at his not funny jokes.
That is excellent.
Oh. Sorry, I'll delete the tweet.
Yeah.
Why don't you play new music? Because that's not what I do. And then one person finally replied with the line, libraries don't sell sausages, which is the line that I use all the time.
Yeah.
And he replied, yeah, I know that, but it could still play some new music. Now, this blows my mind. You would never, ever, unless you are high, walk into a butcher's and go, excuse me, where are your new releases? Sorry? Where are your new releases? Where's your action movies? What, action movie? Oh, no, we're a butcher's. We sell meat. And videos? No, just meat. Why do you sell videos? See that space there in the window where you've got a sausage? You've got a load of sausages. Why don't you put videos there? Because we don't do... Yeah, I know you don't, but you could. Imagine you did that. They'd be like, leave, please just leave. Just leave now.
Yeah,
leave. Why aren't you playing new music? Because that's not what this show's all about. Oh, yeah, you'll play like Sam Fender. Right, but that was new music, and we play his new music. Yeah, but you play... No, but I'm talking about what? Why do you play... And the real reason is, and this will blow their tiny minds and they'll hate this, the reason why we don't play unsigned bands is because, and there are exceptions to the rule, but the main reason is that most unsigned bands are crap. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. 30 years I've been on the radio.
Now, as you can see or hear in this instance, Chris Moyles has just said that all unsigned artists are crap. Well, most of them are. And this has led to absolute uproar in most of the musical community. It has to be said, it has hit mainstream media. It's been in NME, it's been in The Guardian. Basically people calling Chris Moyles out. And here I am, a person who really, no one cares what I have to say, so I'm going to give everyone my 2 pence, because that's what people do on the internet. If you like it, fine. If you don't, fine. Like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So what do I, Dan Smith of Rockstars, the podcast, think about all unsigned artists being crap? Well, as everybody knows, literally probably about 10 people know, I used to run Talk Tonight, and that whole platform was all about upcoming artists. It was about promoting them, and throughout my time, I think it's safe to say that a lot of the music we heard, a lot of the music we got sent was good. Some of it was extraordinary, some of it was excellent, some of it was good, some of it was okay. Not much of it was actually crap. And I'm not saying that Chris Moyles is completely wrong, because at the end of the day, some music, in my opinion, is rubbish. Wet Leg, for example, and they're the mainstream, they're signed. He'll happily play them. He'll happily play Wet Leg all day, play Wet Dream 10 times a day on his radio show on Radio X, but they're shit, they're crap. If I could have a choice of listening to an unsigned artist, I'm going to pluck out of the top of my head Johnny Ash Band, for example. They are 10 times better than Wet Leg. They might not even, say that they are themselves but they are. That's the fact of the matter. They will play Sam Fender 10 times a day as if Sam Fender wasn't once an unsigned artist playing a pub. He still goes back to that pub. He still plays the open mic nights. He still goes there because that's where he was discovered. That's where he made a name for himself when he was unsigned. Chris, you have been in radio for a long time, probably longer than I've been alive. And you're showing your age. You're showing your age because unsigned artists nowadays, they need a platform. They need Radio X. And do you know what's funny? Radio X, John Kennedy, he has a show on your radio station that promotes upcoming artists. And then, while your goons were laughing at your joke about you don't go to a library and ask for a sausage, that's irrelevant because people do go to radio. They do go to radio shows to be played if they're unsigned. It is not as far-fetched as going to a library and asking for a sausage. If you go for a butcher's and you ask for a new sausage, whatever he was on about, or for a new DVD, it's a completely different genre. It's a different shop. You go to radio to listen to music. Unsigned artists will go to you because they want that exposure. The exposure that you have given to bands that were once unsigned. You will play Oasis, you will play Foo Fighters 10 times a day without fail. Give one of those slots to an unsigned band and see the difference it will make to the music industry, but you won't because you're too stuck in your ways. You think you're the big almighty man. I've been on I'm a Celebrity, I'm Chris Moyles. You're a cunt, Chris Moyles. You are a cunt. And do you know what's funny? What's really interesting? Once upon a time, nobody knew who you were. People probably thought you were crap. But somebody gave you a shot. Now look at you. You think you're all that. You think you're the big I am. Slagging off unsigned artists. Here's one for you, Chris. Why don't you pull your head out your ass and maybe listen to some of the stuff that John Kennedy is playing. And you might discover something better than Wet Leg. Something better than Sam Fender. Something better than Oasis. Something better than the Stone Roses. That's all you play. And I understand where you're coming from. I've never done this in all my career. Well, maybe you should have. Maybe you should have. Maybe that's the point of getting into radio, into broadcasting, is to bring people up with you instead of shooting them down like the narcissist you are. You think you're better than them. And you know what? You said, oh, when you first started, you wanted your Alan McGee moment. You were never going to get that. Never, ever going to get that. And do you know why? Because you're ignorant. Because you've turned them down. You think, oh, I've had a couple of bad CDs, that's it, they're all crap. They're not. They're not. And yeah, it's such a shame to hear something like that on mainstream media. He had his goons laughing, of course he did. And I'm sure a lot of people listening to Radio X probably agreed with him, thinking, oh yeah, these unsigned artists are no Oasis. Nobody's trying to be Oasis, everyone's trying to be themselves, that's the point. Everyone wants to be themselves, everyone wants to get big and famous. But no one's going out going, oh, I'm the next Liam Gallagher. Someone probably is. But you get my point. He's generalised every unsigned artist when in reality it's not the case at all. So, to conclude, Chris Moyles is a prat. All unsigned artists, they're not crap. This has been Rockstars. If you've enjoyed, drop a like. Let me know what you thought about what Chris Moyles said. And I'll be back soon. Take care.